So welcome back, and since I have nothing better to do today because we did all the work yet, I'm going to show you how I'm going to wash my Jeep, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it because some people have asked about modifications, what engine it is, what I have done with it, and so let's do it. So about the Jeep itself, I have done a video before reviewing it. It might look like a 2009 to 2008 because of the facelifted bumpers, but it's actually not. It's actually a 2006 with the facelifted bumpers. It has the 3-liter 642 Mercedes engine, and stock it puts out about 218 horsepower. With the modifications that I have done, which are it's DPF deleted, swerve ups are deleted, EGR deleted, hybrid turbo. The stock turbo is a 2056 GTB. It's a Garrett turbo. The hybrid turbo uses a 23mm turbine wheel and a 59mm compressor wheel. It has a stage 3 remap from HED91, and it's also methanol injected. I'm going to show you how I did the methanol injection all by myself. It's actually pretty simple. So this right here is where I inject methanol from. I put the high pressure pump under the headlight. I have this bottle that I use for a reservoir that's only temporary. I'm going to be using what I'm supposed to use. So I took power from the battery and I put a little 20 ampere fuse. I have a little switch over here that I use to turn on and turn off the system, and there's a micro switch under the gas pedal, and when it's pressed all the way down it activates the injection. So it's pretty simple, anybody can do it. So without all of those modifications it makes around 350 horsepower, which is actually pretty good power figures considering it's only a 3-liter diesel. I did a lot of 5.7 dirty on the quarter mile, but I never got to run a 6.1 SRT, so that's gonna be fun. But I doubted that I'm gonna win, so I really don't think I'm going to. I also forgot to mention the torque numbers. This thing puts down around 900 Newton meters of torque, which sounds very good for acceleration and top speed, but it actually is not very good because the gearbox can't really handle that much torque. This is the 7.22 transmission from Mercedes-Benz. It's a 5-speed transmission, and it actually rated around 750 Newton meters. After that it really lowers its performance. You can actually trick the computer into not really minding the torque, but then you can cause a lot of damage to the transmission, to the torque converter, to the transfer case, to the the prop shaft and axles, and it's not really good. So the torque limit is actually something good. It acts like cutting out the power on the engine, so you can actually save the transmission, and that's it. So now I'm going to begin washing. I'm not gonna bore you with any of that stuff because I uploaded a video a couple of days ago of me washing it, and we're going to talk about it later. So now that the thing is shiny again, I mean as shiny as it could be, it's a work truck. I use it for going on the field, I use it for going to the forest. It's not been a pretty reliable truck. I've said that before. The previous owner did not take good care of the car, and I had to rebuild the engine, I had to rebuild the transmission, I had to rebuild the differential, I had to rebuild the transfer case, and I can go on all day. But now, after throwing insignificant amount of cash at it, it's actually pretty good. I have the check engine light on because I'm using fuel that's denser than usual, and this is triggering the fuel pressure sensor on the rail, but apart from that it's been pretty bulletproof. For the past year and a half that I have owned the car, I have actually built a pretty good relationship with it. I mean, I've used it for work, I use it for daily driving, I use it for just cruising around town, and it really is what I actually was looking for back when I was looking at a car. I thought I was making a mistake with buying this car, but it actually turned out pretty good. It's quick enough for me, it's good off-road, it's pretty comfortable around town. The only bad thing that I can think about right now about this car is that it gets horrendous gas mileage. I mean, you would expect it to be pretty economical since it's a diesel, but it's supposed to be economical when it comes out of the factory, not when somebody rips out everything that's supposed to make it economical and turn it into a fast car. And it really can't be that fast because after all it's a Jeep. I mean, it weighs around 2.5 tons, it has the aerodynamics of a fridge, and it's just a Jeep. Even the SRT8s are not that fast, and when you bought them they are still not that fast. You're gonna get spanked by some GTI Golf or something like that. So considering what it actually is, it's pretty good. Considering what the car was made to be, and considering what I have done to it and how it has survived anything that I had put in front of it, it's actually a pretty reliable car if maintained properly. So if you're interested in one of those, this one's to you. It's a good car if maintained properly. I would just advise you to have it checked over before you buy it, because this can be money pits if maintained badly. After all, I mean, it says Jeep over here on the steering wheel, but everything underneath is Mercedes-Benz. The engine is Mercedes-Benz, the transmission is Mercedes-Benz, the quadro drive system that the Jeep uses is co-developed with Mercedes-Benz, so you know it's gonna cost a lot of money. So right now, to sum up every question that people have asked me about the car, it's 350 horsepower, 900 Newton meters of torque. It has a DPF delete, full straight pipe exhaust actually, a swerve flap delete, EGR valve delete, it has a hybrid turbo, it has methanol injection, and that's it. This is good for around 350 horsepower, and I don't think I will dare to go higher than that number, because the internals of this engine, yes, they are pretty strong, because you can actually almost double the power of the engine, but they would not be as strong as some of previous Mercedes-Benz engines like the M606 and what was the V8, the M13K, M113K, that engine, the 5.5 liter that has been used in the AMGs. So yes, the car actually does pretty good performance-wise. I have not expected to beat some cars at the drag strip that I have at a quarter mile. And that's it. So I hope this video was pretty informative. If anyone is considering modding their Jeeps, it's a good thing to do, but consider that the thing will get horrendous gas mileage, almost as bad as the 5.7 Hemi, but on the good side you can easily spunk a 5.7 Hemi at the quarter mile. So yes, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.